here's the interesting thing. So, here's a picture of this guy, Pierre Restny, his fellow Mimo Rotella, and myself. And this is at a restaurant called Bice in Italy. And the mother of the owner was 102 years old, making the desserts.
Wow.
And the great story about this is, of course, you know, the best food in the world is in Italy.
Yes.
So,
I agree.
so he came, so the tray came around with all the desserts on it, all these chocolates and all this stuff. It was overwhelming. And this fellow in the middle, Mimo, whispers to me, have the melon. I'm like, have the melon? I'm in freaking Italy. I mean, you know, I'm like, I want a giant cannoli or tiramisu. I want, you know, but you don't argue with hosts. So I said, yes, I'll have the melon. And they brought the melon, and they brought me a knife, and I went like this in slow motion. I went like this, and I felt no resistance at all. It was like cutting into a cloud.
Wow.
No feeling, and he wanted me to have that sensation because he knew. I'll tell you something. I tell this story 21 years later because it is a metaphor for so many things, and I'll tell you what they are from my perspective. You can carry your own, but now that you heard the story, we all think we're always so right. Maybe somebody else knows a little more than you. I never think that ever, but I did after that. I always said, I know everything. I can blah blah blah. I'm a digital king. What? Other people know more than you sometimes. And sometimes, if you were to go right or left, and someone will say, "Go left," and you go, "No, I'm going right." Just maybe they know the right road to take more than you. And so in this instance, I decided to go with what he said. The chocolates are screaming out, come get me. But I didn't take it. I went with what this man told me to do. And because of that, I had this experience that I continue to tell 21 years later, how something could have such an experience and impact on you. And so the further story is, in 1989, I had a show at a museum called the Joan Whitney Payson Museum in Portland, Maine. And November, and the writing on the top of the car, if you come on this side, the top of the car was written by the museum director, November 4th, 1989. So we are about to engage in the 30th anniversary of this show. So we're in the shadow of them building like 12 different high-rise buildings over here. If you haven't been to Las Olas Boulevard, it's on the water, it's on the river. It's
the river.
But I'm like right in the shadow of it, which is great because it's so quiet. I feel like I'm in Key Largo here. It's very, very quiet.
I see people walking with their canoes or...
Yeah, this river over here. Yeah. Everyone's involved in the arts.
That's
Art is
amazing.
building. So I was on the list to be here for 4.5 years.
Wow.
And finally they called me up and they said, we're ready. Isn't that something?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, this is it. So, the famous RCA gramophone had the dog interested in the Grammy phone, like this. That was their,
Oh, wow.
I don't know what year this was, but very, very, very early. Here's my interpretation of the dog and the gramophone.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
that's cool.
Yeah. That's a lot better.
I mean, technically, it really should be like this.
Yep.
Yeah, then that makes sense. But, you know, a little bit of artistic license.
Can go a long way.
Yeah, that's the interpretation of why it's sort of like unconsciously I put the two together. This is called Coney Island Baby, and it's about 6.5 feet wide by 6 feet tall. It's unbelievable print.
Coney Island roller coaster. Coney Island right there.
Yeah.
Wow.
The shoulder is the cyclone.
Yep.
Amazing.
Ice cream. And
Eating an ice cream cone.
so this is all Coney Island. Yes.
All Coney Island. And I created this before I moved. The story is that in 1994 I moved to Florida. I went back to Brooklyn because that's where my father lived as a child. And I said, you know what? I'm going to go back, say goodbye to my dad in spiritualness, and come to Florida. And so I made this, I took pictures and everything I did in 1993. And then I made this 6 years later. It was in my head for 6 years. And then I made the piece. And when I made the piece, it was like extraordinary. An artist. You either do it or you don't. You do.
Wow, this is insane. He looks like an artist. Look at him.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But you know, things happen here or here. Nothing happens in the gray area. Nothing happens in the gray area.
Hey guys, what's going on? This is Mimi from Peace on the Streets radio show here with Mr. Laurence Gartel, the pioneer of digital art. If you don't know, he's historical. He's a veteran in the game. Mr. Gartel, thank you for being with us today.
Oh, thank you for being here.
It's such a pleasure. Thank you for showing me around your gallery. It's a 3-story gallery, correct?
Yes.
So when is the grand opening?
The grand opening is October 18th from 7 o'clock to 10 o'clock next Friday here at the Sailboat Bend Gallery, 310 Gallery. And there should be some really interesting people here, as well as seeing probably about 50 pieces of art that will be on display.
And this is all your artwork in this gallery?
All my artwork, yes.
How long have you been in this game, Mr. Gartel?
Oh, well, you know, in the digital art game, I started in 1975 working with a man named Namjoon Pike, who's the pioneer of digital art. I was at a place called Media Study Buffalo, and you know, after I created my first piece, which I will be showing in the show, it comes from the Palm Beach Photographic Center in West Palm Beach. I had the show last year in January. There were 88 pieces of work in that show. But I unveiled the first piece of digital art I ever created.
Wow.
And that will be here as well.
What year was that?
That was 1975.
Wow, it's amazing.
That's 44 years. You know, the years just keep ticking on. It was 44 years ago.
Wow.
Crazy.
So, for all of our listeners and viewers, what exactly is digital art?
Digital art basically is making art on a computer and using a computer as a aesthetic tool, like a paintbrush. Except the paintbrush is very kind of, some would argue with me, that it's limited, but it's limiting. And with a computer, it's endless, and you can make things that people have never seen before, which is what I like to do.
So you can implement it on canvas or cars?
You can implement it on a car. Where are we? We can also implement it and put art on a piece of glass.
Wow.
So any substrate art can be applied to, can happen. So
it's insane.
It opens up endless doors. And you know, there's translucency to this, and there's an aesthetic with glass that's equally well, and there's endless things that you can do. I'm not a glass artist per se, but I like to do things on different materials and experiment with different latest, greatest software, and I own my own custom software, which makes a lot of the imagery that I do, which is why people can't do what I do.
And not to mention inside the vehicles, there were Mercedes outside.
Yes.
Inside this Mercedes, on top of the roof.
Yes.
Artwork.
Yes, printed on material, canvas, I guess, for the interior roof. And so it's like the headliner of the car is our work, which you don't really see anywhere. You know,
Yeah.
it's a special thing. So you're always like giving people different experiences. That's what art is doing. It's not just like, you know, hang a piece of art in a hotel room and, oh, that's very nice, and it's decor. This is really talking to the soul of individuals.
So how do you stay creative, and how do you stay?
Every day, baby, every day. I mean, what happens is that someone inspires you, like Maurizio Vanni, the director of the Lucca Museum in Italy, is organizing a new show called The Apple, the Fall of Adam to the combination of opposites, attraction of opposites. So that has inspired me to make some new works. Otherwise, just go out and breathe the air and get inspired by the experiences and life itself that makes you want to do things to speak to other people.
Have you actually ever taught classes in regards to the digital art? Because this is fairly new for the younger generation.
Well, I'll tell you this. I started the computer lab at the School of Visual Arts in 1982, and I was a professor there for many years, and then I moved to Florida, and I was the director of computer graphics at the International Fine Arts College in Miami, and then I became the artist in residence at Miami-Dade College up in their School of Art and Entertainment, and I've lectured around the world from the Soros Foundation in Moscow to being the keynote speaker of the Photographic Congress in Orvieto, Italy, to making a Bollywood film in India.
Wow.
You know, I've been around, and I started a lot of computer labs for like, the Ringling School, for instance, in Sarasota. I was influential in making the purchases of computer hardware.
Who influenced you?
Well, I would say that living in New York, I was part of the punk rock era. I met all the punk rockers, Ramones, Debbie Harry, the New York Dolls. The list goes on. I was an underage drinker, actually.
Okay.
And I would go to clubs and so on, and I'd be like a fly on the wall and mix and mingle with all these like incredible people of the time period.
Wow.
And just hanging around. That's one thing that our society has lost right now, is that nucleus of people, that gathering of people that connect together. Like we're connected here today, but where's that larger audience of people or camaraderie where we'll say, all right, let's meet at this bar every Friday and Saturday night. We used to go to Max's Kansas City, where you'd see Mick Jagger, Andy Warhol, and you know, every leading person, the Halston, the designer, Bianca Jagger. Basically everybody used to attend that and go to Studio 54 and hang out.
I heard of it.
That kind of thing. I mean, it was a golden time for art and culture in New York City. And then when, I guess, Studio 54 was closed, the whole thing kind of shut down. And you know, there were other clubs that people went to, but they didn't like gather as a group per se.
So has that died out right now?
I think it's died out for the last 35 years.
Wow.
And you know, that doesn't really happen anymore, where a painter of notoriety would come and I'm talking about people having museum shows. So big people like that, people who are on tour, like if Britney Spears would go into a club, she'd go in, she'd run out. You know, there's no like sitting down and breaking bread with people and carrying on. That sort of thing has dissipated. And that's what's missing in our society. And, you know, just having an Instagram page doesn't constitute the idea that we're all sort of exchanging ideas and concepts. We're still living in our own little bubble, which I think is definitely a detriment to our culture. We need to have more of that sort of thing.
So
More
it's
gathering.
definitely important to connect physically, to network.
Yeah, face to face,
Collaborate.
flesh to flesh, a being in front of
Yeah.
you, not just on a flat two-dimensional screen. You know, you're here in 3D.
Yes.
You know, and we can appreciate your pigtails and your
Yes.
outfit and your jewelry, and you know, all of what makes you, as
Yes.
opposed to like seeing you on a screen and then I'm gonna like click. That's not living. I'm
For
sorry.
sure.
That's not living.
And that's how I actually met you. I met you in person. I've heard about you. I've looked him up. I've actually met you in person.
Yeah.
And meeting you in person got me to understand more of a respect for art, to understand where it starts, and to understand how creative and how your minds are always working. How do you keep it going, though? How does it not
for me,
stop?
you know, people ask that question all the time, honestly, and you know, it's not a problem. You know, it's really not a problem to go and make the next thing, whatever it is, the next thing. There's in my kind of world, I know there are some people that just paint flowers over and over and over again, and they have like a singular focus on that kind of thing. But my work is just so, it's omnipresent and omnipotent is the right way to say it. I just posted something on Facebook and Instagram about Lydia Cacho. I did the cover of Paranoia magazine, and she is a investigative reporter and an advocate against human trafficking and women's and children's abuse. And she's lectured all over the world. And I did the cover of this one magazine that's a very controversial magazine, but this woman is, like, in my mind, exalted as a hero.
Wow.
So I can do something like that. The next token, I can make a Grammy statue. You know, I'm not limited in my scope of who my audience is or what I can do. There's no limitation to what's possible.
So out of the things you've created, the Grammy, 53rd?
57.
57th Grammy.
Yeah.
That you did the digital art on the Grammy
I
itself.
wrapped the original one-of-a-kind Grammy statue, yes.
Amazing. First time only.
First time only, and I told them, if I do this, you realize what could possibly follow. It's done. And they're
That's
like,
it.
all right. And, you know, of course, what have they done? What have they done lately? You know, what could possibly happen after that? Nothing.
That was it.
That's it.
That's it. And it's so
That's it.
memorable. We will
It's
never
so-
forget
it's
that.
iconic.
Yeah.
It is absolutely iconic, and it speaks to all different genres of music as well.
Yes.
You know, that's the whole thing. Is like, it's like a wow. I mean, that's the whole thing that I tried to do. I tried to country music, pop culture, electronic music. There's everything. It's about energy.
Yes.
That's the bottom line. There's energy in every piece of work that's done. So that's what I could say. And then, like, you know, the most recent project was making the letters, the Miami sign, which was 5.5-foot letters that are at the Miami Central rail station.
I saw that.
It's the coolest place in all of Miami. You need to go there. You need to see the station. The station smells like lemon. Upstairs, they have dining from international restaurants all over the world. And there's the train that's like leather seats, and it's an incredible experience.
So Mr. Gartel actually made, if you look at the, when you get off, you see the Miami.
Yeah.
It's like sculpture.
Yeah, it's sculpture.
And he
Yes.
actually painted that. So
Yeah.
that's Mr. Gartel right there. Is not in the airport, but it's where.
It's at the train station.
It's a train
At the
station.
airport, I'll tell you this, it's interesting you bring that up, because I was commissioned to do 19 light boxes on the sights and attractions of South Florida. I won a public art commission in 1995, and it was a Concourse F at the Miami airport for years. And then they renovated the concourse. It was Concourse F. It's Lufthansa, and they renovated it, and the art was taken down, and it disappeared. No one knew where the art was. And then one day I get a phone call, like 5 years later, after they took it down, and someone said, "I think we found your art." I said, "Where is that?" They said, "Well, come meet me." And it was in a location in Hialeah, in a, what I would say, 3 football fields long location in the corner of a room. And that was the nucleus for the government area that controls Homeland Security.
What?
What? So the art was in the corner. It was like on plastic covering, and it was dusty. And he said, I found it here. How did you find this? It was, and he says, you wouldn't happen to have the digital files of this, would you? And I was like, would I have the digital files of this? Of course I have the digital files. So we renovated the light boxes. I printed new images to fit in the light boxes. We put new lamps in there. We painted the outside box, and it is around the corner from those letters in the Overtown Courthouse Library that I installed in 2012 before Miami Central even existed.
Wow.
Because I said, this is going to be the area that's going to grow. So I had the vision that this was going to be the happening place. Now they have these skyscrapers and everything's going up right at this area where the artwork resides, which was actually for the airport and now on permanent display in the Overtown Courthouse Library.
That's amazing. And then you also did something with Absolute Vodka.
This is the July, August 1993. How many years ago is that?
26.
Woo! 26.
26 years.
26 years ago, Wired magazine.
Wow.
26 years ago, Wired magazine. Absolute Gartel.
I know you guys remember this, because I remember this.
This
Wow.
is the longest running ad in the history of the campaign.
Wow.
It started in 1991. So this was 93, so this is 2 years into it. But here is Art Forum magazine, perfect condition, in plastic, from Art Forum. The September 11th issue of Art Forum, and my friend Andy is on the back cover.
Oh, wow. I remember this specifically. Who knew that I'll be Mr. Gartel, actually? I remember this. I remember seeing this.
It's been on the back of 100 million magazines.
Wow.
So 2001 for this, and it started in 1991, 10 years. Could you imagine an ad running for 10 years?
That's insane.
It's unheard of.
So you're one of the longest
Longest
Absolute
running
Vodka.
ad of Absolute Vodka, 100
Wow.
million magazines. Yes.
I have to say, Mr. Gartel, from how you say, surround yourself with creative minds or
Yes.
like-minded individuals
Yes.
that keep you focused and keep you to stay creative.
Yes.
What happens if you lose that?
Well, it's good to have friends, I have to say, because friends are inspiring. Friends give you hope, give you passion, give you whatever it is. And it's very lonely to travel in space. I did it for 25 years by myself in blackness. So, this camera made this piece of artwork.
How's that possible?
How is it possible? This is the first digital camera produced for the Desert Storm War by Canon. It is the model, God, I used to know it like by heart. I don't know it by heart. It's a 760, the Canon 760. And what it used is, this is so fascinating. Here it is. Look at that. I'm sure most people have never seen anything like
It
this.
looks like a floppy disk. You guys remember that?
It is called a video floppy disk. And it was able to hold 25 pictures that are 900K on this thing. And this whole thing was like $50,000.
Wow.
And you needed this, and you put it into a breadbasket kind of drive that opened up into Photoshop 2.0
Whoa.
to make this particular thing. So we're talking about 1990 Desert Storm War in Iraq. So this was a big experiment. This was made for the Department of Defense so that they could take pictures in Iraq and send back the pictures to the Pentagon and the Washington Post to see what's going on in the war over in the Gulf War.
So this is from 1990.
1990.
1990.
Yeah.
I still can't understand, and I'm sure others can't. How can you implement digital that into artwork within itself?
It's
though?
incredible. It's absolutely incredible. And the idea about this is that the show that I had in the Dance of the Moon Fairies, that other piece that you saw in the hallway,
Yes.
was created with this.
Wow.
This camera made all the beginning work in the early 1990, 1991, 1992. I was using this camera. And I was the only one. As a matter of fact, look what is written. Look at this tag. This is it really incredible. This tag says what?
The 121st Open Golf Championship approved camera.
Right. So I went to Scotland. I was going around photographing the Master Golf tournaments with the first digital camera. People didn't even know what the hell, like, who is that guy? What is that? They were not even interested in the golfers as much as they were on the guy using the camera.
Wow. When you take
Yeah.
art legend like Laurence Gartel
You
and
take
mix
an art legend and mix it with
likes of Jack Nicklaus.
Jack Nicklaus. Shouldn't you really respectfully say, when you take a golf legend like Jack Nicklaus, who has done the impossible, and mix it like with this guy named Laurence Gartel? No. Look how important they made the art.
Art legend, Laurence Gartel.
27 years?
Yeah, and 27 years ago they were already saying you're an art legend.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? How do you feel that they say?
I feel glorious
legend.
that I could share with you. It's not ego. It's about that I could share this. That I have been on the runway for 40-something years without, you came here, you didn't speak to a tired old man. It was like falling apart. It was like ankle hurts, or his neck is twisted, or he can't hear. You're talking to someone who's present in the moment and is doing things that are extraordinary in the moment.
In the moment.
That is the takeaway of this interview. Honestly, that is it. To be in the ever-present now, doing extraordinary things every single moment you can. That's it. And this is not, people take things differently. They may take this to say, this guy's got an ego like the size of the... This is not about ego. This is about self, about how are you going to live your best life and not have permission from others.
Wow. So you go with where your heart's at and how you create, and you go with it.
Yes.
Full force, at the moment, right now.
Yes.
Don't wait.
No.
And look, this is Jack Nicholson right here.
That's right.
I bet, so this is one of the first they've ever seen? It's insane.
Yeah. Yeah, using, it was made with this.
Wow. It looks like, honestly, it looks like art, like paintwork.
Yeah.
Like someone painted it.
Right. Right.
So you basically broke all barriers.
Yes, in every genre. Think about that. Golf. People say, what's your, how do you play? I don't play. I could care less. It's not about that.
So you say this. You're trying to just top yourself.
That's correct.
Have you topped yourself yet?
I try to top myself every day. I did something, I top it. I try to do something, I top it. I try to do something, I top it. I try to do something. That's how it works.
What's the best artwork right now?
Right now, I'm about to create it. It's not done yet. You'll have to see it in another juncture because I'm working on it. It's
You're
in
working on it.
progress. It's in progress, and the latest thing that I discussed with you is in progress. It'll be unveiled October 24th at a certain building in Hollywood, Florida.
Wow.
That's what I could say.
So this is how you feel. That's your best artwork that's releasing.
I think that the artwork I'm working on now will be my best work of all time. I
Wow.
think so. But that's not to say that I can't. I don't poo-poo this. This is spectacular.
That's history. That's like everybody knows this.
It's
right here.
iconic. There was no such thing as a digital piece of work before this piece.
Wow. So for the legend, guys.
That's what you can say.
That's amazing. So in this art gallery,
Yeah.
3-story,
3 stories.
all you.
All me, it is October. It's October 18th, Friday, October 18th, 2019, Sailboat Bend Gallery at 1310 Southwest 2nd Court in Fort Lauderdale. We'll have an opening from 7 to 10 p.m.
Grand opening.
Grand opening.
This is huge.
And it'll be here for 3 weeks. It'll be up in the area that you saw for 3 weeks.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for
Unfortunately.
allowing us to be here. We're one of the first
Yes.
inside.
Absolutely.
Before it opens.
The portal has been opened to you, and your fantastic crew and your guys here. They're great. Thank you for coming and sharing. That's what it's about.
Absolutely.
Got to share it.
Thank you so much for sharing, your insights, your visions, how much of a genius you are. We truly are honored to be here.
Thank you.
What do you want to say to the youth or to the people that are watching, for the creative minds, for the ones that society likes to trap them in a box because they
Yes.
feel that's what they think is for them?
Well, I have to say, there's so much media, and so there's no TV here. I'm watching Netflix.
I know.
I don't have any external. I have nothing bothering my brain. I have nothing to talk about except art and culture and the development of it. I'm really not interested in any political things that are going on. It has nothing to do with me whatsoever at all. It's occupying people's minds, and they're being propagandized to. So I would say shut your television and get on with your life.
And shut your social media, perhaps?
Well, it's good to know what's out there. I don't say shut it off. No, of course not. If you want to look at a few things, but you should have a general focus. If you like ice skating, go skate. It's that simple.
Get yourself involved. Get in.
Do what you love. Do your passion. You like photography? Go out and take pictures. If you like woodworking, go make some, make furniture. I don't care but be focused. Do what's in your heart. Follow your dreams, your passion, your ideas. That's what needs to happen with people. And stop listening and being overwhelmed by others. I can't say don't be influenced by others, because you look at someone could inspire you.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So that's what social media should be for, to inspire you, but don't let it take over your life. And people go, I've got 10,000 friends, I got 1 million friends. Friends? Friends are like somebody who's sharing a glass of wine with you and talking about your real life. That's
Yes.
a friend. Or your car broke down and someone's going to take you to the store. That's a friend. Not somebody who had 10,000 friends. Who gives a shit?
And see, that's what I want our younger generation and society to understand, that surround yourself with like-minded individuals. Make sure you get in, physically connect with them, network, because they're the ones that are going to help you become that and become stronger and actually keep you going.
Yes.
Within that. So, Mr. Laurence Gartel, since the first lady we met,
Thank you, Mimi.
we've been
Thank you.
connected.
Thank you. We met at a great, we met at a great place. We met at that great mansion.
Right.
I can't say it was someplace shabby. I met you there as well, I have to say, and it was a great experience. It was fantastic. Don't be lazy. Go out. Go out. I mean, Orlando was 3.5 hours away.
Yeah.
Don't be lazy to take a drive to something that's worth it.
Take a
Do
trip.
it.
Go out there. Go for your goals. Go for
Yes.
ambition. Don't let anybody
Yes.
stop you. There we go. We have it. Come over here.
That's
We
awesome.
gotta send you over with the media director. She even got a picture with our media director. Look at that!
That was a fun
Picture
day.
party.
Good man. Thank you. It was really
Since that day we met, we never forgot about you.
Oh, that's
You-
very kind.
Very inspiring.
Thank you. It was a lot of fun.
It was like
great.
the way you speak is it's just so encouraging. And it's such an honor to be with you.
Thank you so much.
So thank you again. It's a
Thank you.
pleasure.
Thank you, sweetheart.
So many more.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Ladies
you.
and gentlemen,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Laurence Gartel. Thank you for joining us on Peace on the Streets. Ciao.
Thank you. Fabulous. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. I don't know what the editing will be, but you know.
Oh, it's going to be fabulous.